Ever felt that pang of longing, that deep desire to be truly seen, truly understood for who you are inside? Or maybe, has a fear ever gnawed at you? The fear of being judged, dismissed, just because of how you look or where you come from. Perhaps you carried a quiet pain, the sting of being underestimated, or maybe a suspicion has lingered in your mind, a feeling that things aren't always as they seem. Hey, they're amazing people. It's so good to be connecting with you today. Take a moment right now and tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? It's always so incredible to see how far our little stories can reach. And before we dive in, if you're ready for a story that might just tug at your heartstrings, go ahead and tap that like button. It lets me know we're on the same page, ready to explore something meaningful together. You know, this story we're about to share, it's especially for those of you who've ever felt unseen, unheard. So settle in, because this one's just for you. Let's dive in, shall we? The grand auction hall buzzed with an electric energy. Wealthy collectors, renowned critics, and curious onlookers filled the ornate room, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. Tonight was the night a legendary and signed masterpiece was finally going to find its owner. Whispers rippled through the crowd about its breathtaking beauty, its profound emotional depth, and the mystery surrounding its creator. No one knew who had painted it, only that it had appeared seemingly out of nowhere, and had stunned the art world into captivated silence. Amidst the sophisticated gathering stood a woman named Willow. She was simply dressed, her hands clasped nervously in front of her. Her presence seemed almost out of place amidst the designer gowns and tailored suits. Some cast fleeting, dismissive glances her way, their expressions hinting at amusement or even disdain. What could someone like her possibly be doing at such a prestigious event? Willow's heart ached with a familiar pang. She had grown used to these kinds of looks, the unspoken judgments based on her humble appearance. But tonight was different. Tonight, a fragile hope flickered within her. The auctioneer, a charismatic man with a booming voice, finally turned his attention to the prize painting. It was a stunning landscape, alive with vibrant colors and imbued with a sense of profound peace. A hush fell over the room as he began the bidding. Prices soared rapidly, each raise echoing the deep pockets and fervent desire of collectors. As the numbers climbed higher and higher, Willow remained silent, her gaze fixed on the artwork. It wasn't just a painting to her. It was a piece of her soul, a reflection of her deepest emotions poured onto canvas. Suddenly, a well-dressed man with a condescending smirk noticed Willow's intense focus. "Lost are we, dear?" he sneered, his voice just loud enough for those nearby to hear. A ripple of suppressed laughter went through a small group. Willow's cheeks flushed, and she wanted nothing more than to disappear. Hadn't she learned by now? Dreams were for others, not for someone like her. The familiar sting of being mocked threatened to overwhelm her. But then, something unexpected happened. Another woman, elegant and sharp-eyed, who had been observing Willow, spoke up, her voice cutting through the hushed atmosphere. "Perhaps," she said, her gaze unwavering, "she sees something in the painting that escapes your limited perspective." The room fell silent, all eyes turning towards the two women. This elegant woman, whose name was Serafina, was a renowned art historian known for her keen eye and sharp intellect. She had noticed the raw emotion in Willow's gaze, the almost palpable connection between the simple woman and the magnificent painting. A suspicion had begun to form in her mind. The auction continued, but the earlier momentum had been slightly broken. Serafina found herself drawn to Willow, a sense of intrigue growing within her. Why was this unassuming woman so captivated by this particular piece? During a brief intermission, Serafina approached Willow. "The painting, it resonates with you deeply, doesn't it?" she asked gently. Willow, surprised by the kindness in her voice, hesitated for a moment before answering softly. It feels like a memory." Serafina's eyes widened slightly. "A memory of what?" Willow took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest. This was it, the moment of truth, the moment where she could either continue to hide or finally reveal a secret she had held close for so long. Fear warred with a desperate longing to be understood. "A memory of the place I painted," Willow whispered, her voice trembling slightly. A collective gasp went through the small group of people who had overheard. The condescending man's smirk vanished, replaced by an expression of utter disbelief. Serafina's mind raced. Could it be true? Could this simple woman be the elusive artist behind the masterpiece that had captivated the world? It seemed impossible, yet the raw emotion in Willow's voice, the undeniable connection she had with the painting, felt profoundly real. You painted this? Serafina asked, her voice filled with a mixture of surprise and awe. Willow nodded slowly, tears welling up in her eyes. It's a place from my childhood, a valley where I used to go to find peace. I painted it during a time when I felt lost and alone. It was the only way I knew how to express what was in my heart. The pain of those lonely years was still palpable in her voice. The news spread through the auction hall like wildfire. Murmurs of disbelief and astonishment filled the room. The auctioneer looked stunned, and the wealthy collectors exchanged bewildered glances. Could this unassuming woman truly be the artist? The condescending man who had mocked Willow earlier now looked utterly foolish, his face a mask of embarrassment. The truth had a way of humbling even the most arrogant. Serafina, sensing the skepticism in the air, stepped forward, her voice ringing with authority. I have been studying this painting for weeks. The brushstrokes, the use of light and shadow, the unique blend of pigments, they all speak of a singular vision, a deeply personal connection to the subject matter. What this woman says, it resonates with the very essence of the artwork. She then asked Willow a series of detailed questions about the painting. The specific types of flowers depicted, the way the light fell at a certain time of day, a small, almost hidden detail of a bird in flight. To each question, Willow responded with an intimate knowledge that only the artist could possess. She spoke with a quiet passion, her words painting a vivid picture of the valley she had immortalized on canvas. As Willow spoke, the initial disbelief in the room began to dissipate, replaced by a growing sense of wonder and respect. They saw not just a simple woman, but a soul laid bare, an artist whose talent had remained hidden until this moment. The auctioneer, regaining his composure, addressed the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems we have a truly remarkable turn of events. We may very well be in the presence of the artist herself. A new wave of emotion washed over Willow. Relief, disbelief, and profound sense of validation. Years of quiet creation, of pouring her heart onto canvases in solitude, were finally being acknowledged. The pain of being unseen was beginning to heal, replaced by the warmth of recognition. One of the prominent collectors, who had been bidding fiercely on the painting, stepped forward. "Your work, it's extraordinary," he said to Willow, his voice filled with genuine admiration. "I felt it the moment I first saw it. There's a truth in it that transcends technique." The bidding resumed, but this time it felt different. It wasn't just about acquiring a valuable piece of art. It was about honoring the artist, about recognizing the beauty that had come from such an unexpected source. The price eventually reached an astounding sum, a testament not only to the painting's artistic merit, but also to the powerful story behind its creation. As the gavel finally fell, declaring the painting sold, a wave of applause erupted in the room. People turned to Willow, their faces filled with respect and admiration. The simple woman who had been mocked just moments ago was now the center of attention, her talent finally recognized. Serafina approached Willow, a warm smile on her face. "You see," she said gently, "true beauty and talent cannot be hidden forever. Your art spoke for itself, even when your voice was silent." Willow looked at Serafina, tears of gratitude streaming down her face. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for seeing me." The world outside the auction hall would never look the same to Willow. The fear of judgment might still linger, but would now be accompanied by the knowledge that her art, born from her deepest emotions, had the power to touch hearts and transcend appearances. The pain of being underestimated had given way to profound joy of being truly seen. And for those who had judged her based on her simple appearance, they learned a valuable lesson that night. True worth lies not in outward appearances, but in the beauty and truth that resides within. Never underestimate anyone, for you never know the masterpieces they might hold within their hearts. What do you think of Willow's journey? Have you ever felt underestimated? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story touched you in any way, please do share it. You never know whose heart it might reach. Remember, Every single one of you has a unique story and incredible value. Never let anyone make you feel otherwise.